Aloha fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Isla Sorna capture pack from the Jurassic World Legacy Collection from Mattel. That's right, the Legacy Collection has finally gotten into content from The Lost World, and while I know it's not a lot of people's favorite Jurassic Park movie, it was one of those toy lines as a kid that I really loved. I kind of missed out on the first Jurassic World toy line, but then when the Lost World toy line came out, I went all in on that. A lot of great vehicles and playsets and things from that line, so this is kind of bringing back some of that nostalgia for me. So I'm very excited. We have this really cool kind of capture vehicle. You can see it has the InGen logo right here. We have Roland Tembo included, and then we have a Parasaurolophus. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is kind of from that scene very early on when they first land on the island and they're rounding up all the dinosaurs and everything like that. So I love that they're continuing the 3 3/4 inch line for Jurassic Park / World / Lost World, all that good stuff. So I love that we're getting more 3 3/4 inch figures for this franchise. It seems like they've kind of shied away from the 6-inch figures. They had been doing the Amber collection, and it kind of seems like maybe that's on the way out because I just think these smaller figures are vastly more popular because you can do vehicles and everything with the smaller scale. So very excited for this. I found this at my local Target, and you can see it's mostly open packaging here with things just kind of either in a bubble on the card or just kind of like tied into the cardboard here. If we spin around to the back, you can see just kind of like a little demo of him driving the vehicle, and it fires a missile, and you have the dinosaur running and everything like that. So I'm very excited about this. Very much hoping they do some more of these. I would love to get like a giant trailer playset. Honestly, I would like to get the Visitor Center as a playset from the first movie as well, but only time will tell with that. But I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything you get in the box. Of course, we have our Dino, we have Roland, and then we have the vehicle. We'll take a look at the little Dino first. This is a Parasaurolophus. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But they did a really nice job. I think the paint applications look really solid. Really nice texturing and kind of the gradient here on the back, and you have some of the spots and everything. They did a really nice job there. The eye of the dinosaur, I think, is pretty nicely detailed. And all along this kind of ridge he has here on the back of his head. Now, I kind of wish the mouth opened and closed, but not a big deal. You do have a nice hinge and rotation here at the base of the skull. So you can see the head can rotate from side to side. And then, of course, you do have a hinge up and down there. The hands just kind of rotate around. They don't have any out to the side movement. They just rotate around. Same with the legs here. So we just have a little bit of a rotation. I guess you can go, yeah, you can go all the way around. And then the tail has a little bit of a rotation. I can't get it to do much, but I guess I don't really need it to do much, but you do have a little bit of movement there. I also really like the Jurassic Park symbol there molded onto the bottom of the foot. I think that's something they did back in the day that they've carried over, which is pretty cool. Now, the dinos this year also have this new gimmick where you can pull out this little DNA piece, and you can't actually remove it. It just kind of slides up. And then there's a phone app where you can scan this, and I guess it'll give you information about the dinosaur. I haven't tried it out yet, but I think it's kind of a neat feature. I do appreciate that you can't like pull this out and lose it, because I wouldn't want like a large gap in the back of the dinosaur's back there. But you just kind of pop it up and then you just put it back down, and you can see it sits pretty flush there, and you don't really notice it all that much unless you're looking at it directly on. So yeah, he's a pretty cool little dino. I like him quite a bit. Decent amount of articulation for his size, and really nice paint applications, which I really like. So we'll put him off to the side, and next up we will take a look at Roland. So he looks pretty good. He's got kind of this soft rubber outer jacket piece here. I guess you could remove it, but then, I mean, he would have the sleeves that match, so it doesn't really make any sense. But I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. It actually kind of looks like the actor. I think they did a pretty good job there. Now, the head can kind of go from side to side. It looks like it should be on a ball joint, but I couldn't really get too much out of it front to back. But it can certainly look side to side, no problem. And the hat is kind of a softer material as well. I don't think that's removable at all. And if it was, you wouldn't like what you find underneath, I would assume. But he has a nice hinge there in the shoulder as well as a rotation. He's also got a hinge and a rotation here in the elbow. He's got his wristwatch painted there, pretty nice detail. From the elbow down is one solid piece though, so there's no wrist movement. You got that on both arms. He does actually have a waist swivel. As you can see, we have a ball joint here in the hip, so you can kick pretty far forward. Can't really kick back that much, but you can kick out to the side a decent amount. And because this is a softer material, it doesn't get in the way, which is much appreciated. You have a bend and a rotation there in the knee, And then I believe from the knee down is a solid piece. You can kind of tell where like this was all cast in the same color and then they just painted the boots, because you can kind of see they missed a little sloppy there on the lip, but it's really not that big a deal. It looks pretty good for the most part. I will say that this leg is kind of at a weird angle. I wish I could kind of rotate at the boot a little bit, inward, but not a big deal. He looks good though. He really does. I think they did a nice job with him, and like I said, I'm really loving that they're continuing the 3 3/4 inch line for Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park franchise, I'll just say from now on. I'm really liking this. I like this a lot. Let's get into the vehicle because that's honestly my favorite part. So here's our little InGen vehicle. I was trying to find out on the packaging if it has an official name, but I didn't see anything, so I think I'm just going to call it little InGen Jeep. Now, it might be a heavy retool of the original Jurassic Park Jeep because kind of the back area here looks very familiar, but it could just as easily be a new mold. If it is kind of the same base, they've done some heavy retooling on this. You have the nice InGen symbols here in paint, one on the roof of the car and then 2 on the sides. You have these light pieces here. These are all just stickers, but they all come pre-applied. Got some stickers up here as well, and some stickers on the back for the tail lights. This little extra gas can here is not removable, just molded in there. You have a sticker here for this screen as well. Rolls very nicely, very smooth. There's also a tire here in the front that can spin, which is kind of funny. I don't really know why that spins, but it can. So I like the look of this a lot. I really like the color scheme. I like the kind of guard up here. I think that's kind of neat. All in all, just really like this. There's even a spot back here for the extra missiles. You can see the 2 holes right there. So we just go ahead and drop these in. And they kind of just sit really nice. They don't protrude too far. They kind of hide behind the seat, which is nice. They're about level with the top of the seat. And I think that's perfect. I really like that. Also to note, you can see here with the missiles that they have these kind of bumps on every side but one. And that's so you know how to put them into the launcher. So there's a little button right here that we press, and that makes the seat pop out. So do not try to just pull the seat out. You do need to hit the button to release it. And then you can see right here is where we load the missile. So you have to have the smooth top that goes on the top there, and you just load this in, clicks into place. Now the nice thing is that goes all the way in, so we can close this with the missile already loaded inside. So we can hit that, and then we hit the button on top of here to launch. And it's got a pretty good distance to it. It's a nice spring. I think it works well. So we will go ahead and pop that back in. Now, I think one of the original toys had a similar Jeep that was a different color scheme, and that had like a large net, and the seat would come out to the side, and then they would catch the Dino in the net. But with this one, they just decided to go for the missile launcher. But I think it works pretty well. We can go ahead and take Roland and get him situated in here so that he can ride along. Let me bend him at the elbows here, and he sits pretty easily in there. It's not really too difficult to get him in there. You can go ahead and put his hands on the 2 like handles if you want, or you can just kind of sit him in there. So if we close this up, and then when we flip him out to the side, there you go. He's ready to go. Fire that missile. Of course, you can also come around and put him in the front driving. And if you have other figures from other sets, of course, you can probably fit, I would say, at least 4 figures in here. Really, if you want to leave this deployed, you could technically have a 5th figure sit right there. You just have to be careful not to close it in on them. So, but yeah, I would say you could fit at least 4 figures, and they fit in really nice and easily. It's not too difficult to get them in there. They fit perfectly. They look good riding in there. I really like this vehicle a lot. I really like the feature. I think the seat flipping out to the side, you got the firing missile. Color scheme, you got extra missile storage here, you got some nice stickers, some nice paint applications, and you can hold a good amount of figures, so pretty cool. Really like this vehicle quite a bit. I think this is a really great set. I'm really happy the Legacy Collection is getting into the second movie. While of course the first movie will always be my favorite, I had a good time with the second one. And when I was a kid, the toy line for that was really extensive. There were a lot of great vehicles, a lot of great dinosaurs and playsets and things. So I'm very happy the Legacy Collection is finally getting to some of this stuff. Very toyetic vehicles from that movie because InGen brought in all the capturing dinosaur gimmicks and things like that. So I think we're going to have some fun with this. But it's a really good set. The Roland figure is great. I absolutely love the vehicle. The little Dino is fun. He's not very extensive in terms of articulation because he is a smaller Dino. But he's got some good articulation. The paint applications look great. I don't really have too much to complain about this. If I was asking for anything else, maybe it would be nice to give Roland like an individual little weapon or accessory just for, when he's getting out of the vehicle, if he's on his own, just to have a gun or something like that. Some kind of, staff with a grabber claw or just some kind of little accessory for him. But otherwise, it's a pretty great set. Now, I found this at my local Target. I think the Legacy Collection is all Target exclusives as far as I know. And I believe this set was $29.99. I think that's pretty fair for the vehicle, the figure, and the dinosaur. I mean, the figures themselves usually go for anywhere between 8 to 10. Now, usually they do come with accessories. But I feel like to get all of this for 30 is a pretty decent value, especially for a store exclusive. So I definitely recommend picking this up. I'm having a ball with it, and I'm definitely hoping for some more. I want to get the giant trailer playset from that movie, because that was a toy I had as a kid that was a lot of fun and had a lot going on with it. But yeah, I love this one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.